Welcome back, everybody, to Session 7 of Project Eyon, my in-the-works tabletop RPG. I'm joined by most of my players here tonight, and we are going to continue from where we left off in the forest. So, as we were left off, it was in the middle of Gemini, who unfortunately cannot be here tonight, so I'll be role-playing them, and Valon discussing whether or not they should attack these suspicious-looking individuals in this forest. So, Valon, do you remember how that conversation went?
Let's see. If I remember correctly, we hadn't decided on if we were going to attack them or if we were just gonna leave them alone and try to attack someone else. But if we did attack them, then the plan was he was gonna shoot somebody, sand trap him. I was gonna teleport somebody. Basically, we were just gonna try to kill two of them as quickly as possible and capture the other.
Gotcha. Alright.
Or kill, two of them.
Gotcha. Well, Gemini, I remember Gemini being like, yeah, let's kill him. Pretty much. Going gung-ho with the strategy. I'm trying to think here. So, Gemini looks at you and he says, so are we doing this or what? Of course, he's in a whisper. You guys are like whispering this between each other. And, as you guys are doing this, you're grabbed from behind by a sort of a sharp grab, Valon, and you look around, perhaps still on edge, and you see Medley like looking at you intently, and she's just like shaking her head, and she whispers to you, "We're talking about two masters here, two of my own colleagues, and two strangers. We don't really know anything about their abilities. This is a bad idea. We should just continue on."
Valon looks towards them and contemplates it for a second. I think you're right. I don't know if this is the right plan. After all, if we die here, it'll be for nothing. We won't even be able to cast a portal back to bring anybody with us.
Our allies will never know of the fate that befell us here. I agree with Medley. Let's continue on.
Valon is gonna take one last look at him, and I guess try to size them up one more time. But given what they said about them being masters, Gemini told me the same thing earlier. I'll turn to Gemini and say, yeah, I think we should let them go this time. We'll probably catch up with them later anyway.
Gemini seems disappointed by this, but he nods his head and he says, "Yeah, I guess you're right. Ain't that right, Mr. Puppet?" And you hear Mr. Puppet's like head just like clackling up and down as the puppet like shakes its head.
Alright, if that's the case, we should probably just let them sneak out of here and use this fog to keep moving towards the village.
Gotcha. You wait for a moment until you hear more footsteps, and thankfully they are going away from you, towards where you came from. After a bit, you don't hear any more footsteps, and you hear Cora say, "I think they're gone now. We can continue."
I guess I nod back and just kind of motion my head towards the other direction as I start to creep away from them.
Gotcha. So Gemini, he holsters his pistol once more. All right, let's get to this Orcan village. We gotta go find the Whitefin tribe, was it? I can never get their names right. and we gotta, open that portal up so everybody else can get over here. Are you ready to move, everyone? And your two flu companions, they nod that they're ready to go.
All right. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna try to keep towards the trail. Kind of see if we can, if Gemini can keep the fog moving with us a little bit to keep that cover going.
Okay, you mentioned the idea of moving the cover along, but Gemini says, I can't do that. It has to stay in this area. I'd have to keep casting the spell over and over, and that seems kind of tiring, honestly.
Yeah. Well, in that case, let's just stay towards the forest and don't be too loud or obvious.
Oh man, two things that I'm... Oh, well, alright, let's go. And you continue forward, making your way through the forest. And before too long, you find the forest edge, thankfully. Perhaps, a wave of relief comes over your character as you see the end of this, hellhole up ahead. Perhaps only for a moment, as it leads into another hellhole, inevitably.
Yeah, one after another.
Indeed. Indeed. So you continue forward, and you get out of the forest, and up ahead of you, I'm trying to think, how far from the forest would it be? I don't know, maybe a few hundred meters, perhaps? Yeah, we'll use meters this time, because why not? You see a village. And Valan, you recognize from your memories that this is, in fact, the same Orcan village as before. The one that the White Fang inhabit.
Looking at it, coming out of the forest, a sense of relief kind of comes over Valan, like finally outside of this this hellhole of a place. I feel like I've almost died every time we've taken a step there. But with that, he's going to kind of case over the village. He remembers seeing guard towers and different types of guards in different places. And so he's kind of just looking to see if there's any weaknesses or to try to understand their patrol patterns, to see if there's anybody that can be snuck up on. Oh, what time of the day is it? Or is it like...
It is perpetually night here.
Got you. All right, yeah. So are they using any torches or anything to light their way?
No, there's no sort of torches at all.
All right. I'm gonna turn to Gemini and say, well, I guess they all have night vision. There's not a torch around this place. I don't even see a candle.
Great. They may even know we're already here.
I don't think so. Or they probably would have met us by now.
Maybe. But, I think there's a big problem here. If we... Look at the village for a second. And as you turn to look towards the village, you kind of get the idea of what Gemini is talking about. And it is pretty much like in an open field. Like, there's the only real cover that you have currently is the forest, which you're standing on the edge of, I'd imagine.
Got you. How big is this field?
Pretty big. Like, it's a few 100 meters ahead of you. The village is.
Got you.
So,
all right. So like a couple football fields away.
Yeah, let's go with that. That seems nice.
Got you.
Torgwin's over here like silly Americans with their non-understanding of the metric system.
Oh, sorry, my fault. My international friends, a couple of soccer fields away.
I think you mean foot. I think you mean
football.
no. It would be football.
Which kind of football?
Yeah, you got it right the first time, Valon. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so Gemini, I think you might be onto something here.
I can.
Like I said,
I can.
go ahead.
I could make us another like layer of fog, potentially. But to be honest with you, I don't know how useful that's going to be, considering that they were able to see through a blizzard.
Yeah, not only that, putting a fog over the place would probably make us even more suspicious.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
But to be honest, I think I don't know if I shared it or not. Oh, give me a second. I'm trying to remember something.
As you're thinking, Gemini, he sort of like, you see his eye, right, sort of like widen for a second, and he takes his fist and he like puts it down onto his hand. He says, "I got it. I know what we'll do. Why don't we check the other side? Like, they're gonna, they're obviously guarding this side, right? But if we go back to like the physical world, we might have better luck over there. Maybe we could even I don't know, like get right up to where the village is and just sort of appear there all at once."
Yeah, that would probably work. I mean, it's at least worth a try. It's not like it's going to cost us anything.
Yeah, we got the medallion after all.
Right.
Another thing we could do, potentially, if we didn't want to do that strategy, we could also try to go underground, perhaps.
True. I was really trying to figure out a way to do it a little bit less, destructively, though. Oh yeah, this is what it was. Initially, I actually was thinking that if we could capture another person, a guard or something, I could just make that other costume and we can walk right to the center of the place.
Huh. So how does this costume work exactly?
Don't bother yourself too much with the details. Except we just need one person, and we need them alive. Not unhurt, just alive.
That's a tall order, Valon. I don't know if we can do that without getting noticed by the whole village.
Yeah, but if they're guarding the place, they might have some type of outside patrol.
Maybe. But that's assuming that they patrol alone.
I mean, I'm sure they don't, but it's not like they're gonna send 2 more masters out into the woods.
Yeah, I guess you got a point. I'd rather take them on than take on one of those masters. They don't joke around, let me tell you.
Yeah, we probably could have died back there.
Yeah. That wouldn't have been good.
But with that, you want to go ahead and use the medallion so we can check out the real world? Maybe we'll find a easier path.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check out the other side. Everybody just, put your hand on me real quick, okay?
Whoa there, buddy.
He looks over at you. Hey, on anywhere but, somewhere that you obviously wouldn't. I wouldn't want you to... You know what I'm saying, alright?
And Valon just says, yeah, alright, and puts his hand on his shoulder, kinda jokingly.
Alright then. And, Gemini takes I can't talk right now. He takes the amulet out of his pocket, and you see a faint blue glow sort of emanate from it. And a moment later, after some sort of, haziness, you shift back into the physical world. And, where you are is pretty much an open field here as well. You look back, though. You look back, and you see that the forest behind you is just gone. It's like it's not even there.
Valon immediately drops to the ground and tells everybody to do the same thing.
All right, so you get lower, and you're looking around, and you don't see any obvious signs of any orkin around.
Got you. Do I see the village or anything?
No, it's like not even on this side at all. No signs at all.
Well, that was... Wait a second. I wonder if we can walk over... Does anybody remember exactly which blade area of grass was the center of that town?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I think I misunderstood the question.
Sorry, I'm kind of, Valon kind of points towards where the place was, and he says, does anybody remember exactly where the fort was?
Yeah, I got a pretty good idea about where it's at, Gemini says.
Alright. Do you think we could just, I don't know, walk over there, stand roughly where we think the middle is, and then shift back?
We could, but do you just want to do that, like, with just us? I mean, that seems, like a really bad idea. Just the four of us.
It might be, but more than anything, I mean, we can open the portal from outside the fortress, but why do that when you can open it from inside the fortress?
You make a good point. Okay, I have an idea first. Let me send Mr. Puppet over there first. I think if he goes alone, he's just a puppet. He'll be fine. If anything happens to him, it's fine. And then he can scout ahead for us. How does that sound?
Alright.
Alright then. He leans down to Mr. Puppet, and he begins to have sort of like a sort of intense conversation with him. Right? He like grabs him by his little puppet shoulders, and he says, "Alright, Mr. Puppet, I have a very important mission for you. You're going to go on to the other side, and you're going to find a safe spot in the village for us to come over into, okay? You just make sure there's enough space for all of us, alright? We're not all, like, puppet-sized." And Mr. Puppet quickly clacks his head up and down. "I understand. I'll do it." Alright. And Gemini places the amulet around Mr. Puppet's neck. And the puppet begins to, like, walk over to the, to where the village was roughly at, you think. You watch intently from where you're at. Oh no, Kasha can't hear us. Okay, anyways. You watch him walk over, and a moment later he just disappears. 1 second now, I'm gonna have to make a roll. Alright, let's see here. Let us see here. Wow. This finesse fucking sucks. Jesus fuck. It's terrible. Okay. Alright. So we're just gonna assume he has like +4, I guess? Hey! Now that's a pretty good roll. And he's like really small, he's a fucking puppet, so I mean he should be kind of sneaky, right? That makes sense.
Sure.
You watch as you're watching the spot where you saw him disappear, and a moment later, Mr. Puppet reappears, right? And you hear Gemini say, "All right, he's found a spot for us. He's going to mark it, okay?" And off in the distance, you can vaguely see Mr. Puppet like take his arm off, and he just sticks it into the snow, right?
Mm-hmm.
As he begins to like walk back over to where you guys are. He makes it back over safely, and he says, "All right, I found a place for us. It's behind a building in there. I don't know exactly how safe it's going to be, but I didn't see anybody like really going around that area while I was there."
How many people would you say were around it?
There's a lot of people in there. A lot of people. Close to 100 at least, if not more.
Gotcha.
Let's put it this way, Mr. Puppet says.
Mhm.
If we get attacked in there, we're fucked. We're gonna die.
Alright. I guess in that case, one of us probably has to check it out a bit more. And seeing as how I'm the only one who could probably blend in, I think I should go to the other side for a while and see if I can find something better as an entry point.
Alright. Gemini looks at you with his arms crossed. You gonna go in disguise?
That's the idea.
Huh. So how do you do this disguise thing anyway, man? Like, how does that work?
Once again, don't really need to know the details. It's basically just an extension of my, shadow magic. I'm able to make people believe what they see, so to speak.
Huh. Well, why do you need another person then? He asks. I mean, couldn't you just, like, use that on all of us, potentially?
Oh, well, I wish I could. I'm still working on a technique, but currently, the way that it works is to create, how can I put it? A perfect costume, basically. The problem is with other people's shadow magic or the types of tricks that they use to blend in, they're not exactly perfect. Someone who's good enough with magic or knows the person enough could see the cracks in it. They could see the imperfection. But with mine, I use a part of the person's actual essence inside of the costume, so it makes it almost impossible for anyone to tell.
Huh. That's interesting. Well, I don't know jack about shadow magic, so I really don't understand anything about what you just said. But hey, if you can get in there and you want to do it, you can do it, man. And he hands you the amulet. Do you want us to just wait here then?
Well, I guess so. I mean, technically, Gemini, you could switch to the other side whenever you wanted to.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll just go in there, try to find a place where we could, well, we have to have the portal, but we also have to have enough time for enough people to get through to not die immediately. So hopefully I can go in there and find a place big enough to hold maybe 100, 200, that we can start with the force while the others are coming through the portal. Find some type of fortress on the inside we can hold down and attack from.
Huh. Well, alright. And, Chorus, he asks you, friend, are you sure that you want to do this? If it's just an illusion, isn't there a chance they could see through it?
Yes, technically, but no, practically.
Huh.
Or at least, no one ever has, and I've tricked countless.
That is...
Really, I could be making more money, probably making these costumes for people, but,
Huh. That is an interesting magic. I have never heard of such a thing. But if you want to do this, I will not stop you.
Yes, it actually, it's an ancient magic from my family line, so no one else. It's more or less forbidden to really tell anyone the details. I'm not even sure if I was supposed to tell you that much, but it seems pretty harmless. But yeah, he just takes the amulet from Gemini and says, I shouldn't be gone for too long. Maybe an hour at most.
Gotcha. You know how to use the amulet, right? Gemini asks.
I get the vague idea from when you explained it.
Well, alright. Good luck to you.
Alright. I guess if anything happens, I'll shift back into this reality and yell really loud for help.
Alright. Gemini shakes his head at you. We'll be listening.
With that, he just nods his head and starts walking towards the arm.
Gotcha. In that, we're going to swap over to the other party for a moment. Torgwin and Kasha, you and the rest of the party have been waiting for over a day now for this portal or some kind of a sign for your other allies to let you know that it's time to go and initiate this plan. The Terran have been vigilant in guarding the area, even more so since the ambush that happened the other night. They sort of have these earthen fortifications erected around the whole town. They've sort of fortified those more. You think it's kind of redundant, perhaps, given that they're able to phase through solid matter, but it seems to have made them at least a little bit more comfortable with the situation. So there's a bunch of Terran milling about, as well as, your various different allies. And you're sitting around the fire with Kasha. And, one second. Who all is there? I just need to make a list real quick. One second. There's Farfel, Jonah, what other NPCs am I forgetting? Dayan, yeah.
Also put with us, right?
Yeah, Dayan is with you guys, yeah. That is correct. One second, I'm just gonna open up something here real quick. Marcus is there, of course. I think that's...
Is that it?
I think that's it. Yeah. Pretty sure that's it. Okay.
Sounds about right.
Okay. So, Jonah, he's been so, very antsy this whole time. He has his hands cupped together, and you can see his breath sort of, on the air. As he's breathing, his foot is, tapping against the ground, just over and over and over again, and he says, "What if they don't come back? What are we supposed to do then? I mean, we can't just stay here."
Well, if that plan doesn't work, then, well, it's out of our hands anyway, so we can't do anything then. We can't.
Dang.
I guess.
I thought
wait
y'all
for the
had
vote.
continued that other documentary.
Hey,
Like, nigga. Huh?
hey, Milan.
Right.
Damn, demonetized.
Yeah, it's over.
That's a motherfucker.
Cut it out, cut it out.
It doesn't matter. I don't make money from this shit anyways. Anyways, continuing on. Kasha, are you there, by the way?
I'm always someplace.
Okay. Just making sure, because you can hop into this conversation whenever you want, if you want to hop in at all. Anyways, what were you saying, Torgwin? It's out of your hands or something like that?
Yeah, it's out of our hands anyways. I think the only thing we can really do is wait for the boat. As in for Gemini's brother to...
Oh, could we actually get an update on that? Did they see Gemini's brother or something?
Well, no. There has not been any sign of the boat having returned. But then again, he did say he would be back in about a week. If he's coming back at all. Jonah actually brings this up and he says, do you really think that he's gonna come back? I mean, I can't be the only one to have noticed this, but, it doesn't exactly seem like Gemini and his brother are on the best terms. You know, them fighting and dueling and yelling at each other and all of that.
Yeah, some real Game of Thrones shit going on with those two.
Who is this mysterious voice speaking out of nowhere?
Ooh.
That just sounded like Balan.
Anyways.
Sorry, I thought you were still answering my question.
Sorry, no, it's okay. It's okay. That was in character. It's real quick. We're just gonna do a real quick cut. Valan, do you remember that time where somebody was like getting directions in that other game, and we like worked that shit into the actual tabletop session?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Man, that was fucking awesome. Anyways, sorry about that. Let's continue forward. Jonah continues on with his pessimism, and he says, you know, I think that if push comes to push, we might have to find our own way out of here. Because otherwise, I mean, it's just going to be a slow game of cat and mouse. You know?
Well, yes, but I mean, currently we can't really do anything else other than wait. Until we either get a sign or the boat comes back.
Marcus speaks up and he says, don't worry. They have Medley with them. She's one of the masters. I'm sure that with her being there, things will be okay. I think.
Well, I sure hope so.
And around this time, as you guys are having this conversation, you hear one of the Terran yell, "There's someone coming! There's 6 of them, I think." How do you react to this?
Tasha grabs her trident and is ready to fight.
All right, you head over to where you heard the yelling, along with a bunch of the Terran, who are also like on their way over there. They have like earthen weapons, like sculpted from the ground out of stone, in hand, and they're all just sort of like ready. You get up to the top of the wall, you and your companions do, and you see. Well, one second. How many are there? There's only 4 of them, unless I'm tripping. Yeah, there's only 4 of them. You see 4 figures. So either that Terran is like tripping, or they just don't know how to count. But anyways, yeah, you see 4 hooded figures slowly walking towards the village. They are of various different sort of heights and builds. So one of them looks like they could be like an organ, but the other 3, they're definitely not organ, or they're like the smallest organ you've ever seen. Especially one of them who seems to be about the size of an Ulf, actually.
And Orkin, she's like, Tasha's like, halt, who goes there? Friend or foe?
And you're yelling this over, and to give you an idea of how far away they are, they're like, I don't know, maybe like 100 feet, perhaps. And actually, guys, I have to use the bathroom real quick. I am very sorry. Can we take a short break here, real quick? If you gotta use the bathroom, use the bathroom. You wanna
Quick
get a drink?
intermission.
Yeah, we're just gonna take a quick intermission. I'll be back.
Intermission before combat. Okay.
No, after Kasha yells at him to find out who they are. Hold on, I need to use the bathroom.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't leave me.
Yells snow. Just because it smells like lemonade doesn't mean it's lemonade.
You might be right. I'm not sure. Okay, somebody call Light if you got his phone number, and just get him to get back to the RP session. Thanks.
For real.
Your soul. Your soul. Kit Kat bars.
Okay. You guys there?
Yep.
Cool. Kasha, you there? Kasha? Oh no.
And she's been periodically disconnecting, so
Oh no.
yeah, exactly. Oh no, no.
Oh, no, 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 no. Hmm.
Mm,
Hmm. Her internet is periodically rolling a 1, it seems.
yeah, permanently. All the fucking time. Oh well.
Well,
I
I
mean,
wonder.
mine seems to be doing the same thing, so I don't know.
Maybe it's the server.
Not a-
Could be the server. I don't
Could
know.
actually be the server.
It's been acting kind of wonky. I've noticed Discord's quality seems to have kind of decreased lately. I don't really understand that.
Just by Discord. I think it's called Discord Nitro. And
Ugh.
just put one of the 2 charges you get into the Discord server, and it runs like it's like a beauty.
Ugh. Can you imagine, like... I don't know. Can you imagine?
Discord Nitro is so fucking good because it's literally only good for the emotes. It's the only thing it's good for. And you can do stuff like that.
Can you imagine paying for Discord? Ugh. For emotes? Ugh.
Also for streaming, high quality streaming.
I can't even stream low quality, so yeah. Okay, so Kasha disconnected.
Yeah, that's been happening like I think it happened like 3 or 4 times already. Don't worry
Oh,
about it.
that is very, very unfortunate.
I mean, if Kasha drops out as well today, then
I hope
actually call
not.
it here.
I hope not. Jeez.
I mean, it's kind of weird, like, already, without, well, Gemini, I suppose.
Yeah. He really is the life
idiot.
of the party, isn't he?
Yep. I mean, especially on the other side, if they're planning to attack,
Kasha,
I think,
Yeah.
one
It
second.
feels kind of.
Kasha,
yeah, like it.
Kasha, are you there?
Right.
Hello.
Hello.
Back.
Welcome back.
We start.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so where we left off, Kasha, you were yelling out, "Who goes there?" Right? Kasha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, so you yell out, "Who goes there?" And one of the figures takes off their hood, and they call back in a voice that's sort of like, well, I'll let you roleplay your reaction, but they call back, "Sister, it's me, Rokosh."
How do I know it's you, Rokosh?
How do you ask that? Like, how do you know it's him?
Yes.
1 second, I'm just messing with something real quick.
Stop messing with it.
Sister,
Damn you, Quagmire.
anyways. Do you remember the last things that we did in Circa?
Oh,
How-
Jesus.
How we went investigating about the disappearances with Jonah. And Kasha, you do know that, of course, you and Jonah and Takana, you did all of you go and investigate. The next one of the other figures takes off their hood, and you notice it's Takana, and he says, "Who else could know that besides us?" Oh God.
She says that she holds her hands up to the Terran. All right, guys, they're okay. That's my brother and some of our friends.
And one of the Terran asks, "Are you sure it's okay to let them in? Can we really trust them?"
He's my brother, of course. And if they prove otherwise, and as she clears her throat so she can speak loud enough, if they prove otherwise, they will be put to death.
Farfel chuckles at this. Are you really willing to kill your own brother?
Meanwhile,
Go ahead.
Torgwyn would like to cast a detect illusions, I suppose.
Detect illusions? Shadow magic, I take it?
That's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely do a detection spell to, like, see if they're bullshitting. You could do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do a like dispel illusion, but more of a...
Yeah, you're just checking things out, pretty much. Okay, in that case, it's going to be a difficulty... I'm going to say difficulty 12.
Gotcha. Oh. I mean, you guys can go on it.
Okay. After you give the go ahead, Kasha, the Terran collectively begin to like make an opening in the barrier for them to come in, and you hear one of them yell, "All right, lower the wall, let them in." And the ground sort of like rumbles for a moment as the Terran like pull a part of the barrier down. The four of them slowly approach. They seem cautious as they do so. But eventually they reach the entrance to the barrier and they enter into the settlement. Torgwyn, as they are approaching, you use your shadow magic. You're using shadow, right? I imagine?
Yeah.
You use your shadow magic to try and determine if there's any sort of an illusion going on. And you find no sort of like illusion happening. It does appear, in fact, that these are in fact the people they say they are. Do you go to greet them, Kasha?
Yeah. Yes. How tall is the wall that we're on?
I think last time I said it was like 30 feet, if I'm not mistaken. I don't exactly remember how tall I said it was before, but yeah, about 30 feet. You have to like walk up a set of stairs to get up here.
Okay. Yeah, she'll as the wall starts opening up, she goes down the stairs and goes to where it's opening at, and just waits there.
Okay. You're joined together with the rest of the NPCs and some of the Terran as you make your way down. And you watch as the four of them approach. And Rokash looks at you, Kasha, and he just sort of like smiles and he says, "I'm so relieved to see you again, sister. I thought after everything that happened in Circa that you may have perished. I'm glad to see you alive." And he slowly begins to approach. He doesn't seem armed. You don't see any sort of weapons or anything on him. How do you react to this, Kasha?
She goes up to him. First, she slaps him, be like, "How dare you scare me half to death again?" and then she gives him a hug.
All right, so you slap him, and he like recoils a bit, surprised. And he's like, "What was that for?" And then you hug him, and he gives you a hug back. I am sorry to have worried you so much. Jonah, he asks, so, if you don't mind me asking, first off, who are the other two? And second off, where did you guys come from? How are you still alive? I'm kind of lost here. Rokash, he says, it's a long story. I can tell you and catch you up on everything that's happened. And, they helped us to escape from where we were being kept. And you look towards the other two figures, and they take their hoods off, and you see, in fact, that it is Umbrus and Pius standing there before you. And Torgwin, Umbrus looks towards you, and he says, I'm glad to see that you made it out of Circa alive.
I'm glad to see you too. How you were? I don't understand. How did you get your soul back? I suppose.
As Rokash said, it is a long story, and I've been traveling for some time now. Can we find a place to sit, and I'll catch you up on everything that's happened. Duranka speaks up and she says, this is quite fortunate, isn't it? With the four of you joining us, we should have no problems with the upcoming plan. Quite fortunate indeed. Come then. Let us sit around the fire. I wish to hear of your tale. And Duranka turns around and begins to head towards the fire. Rokash looks at you, Kasha, and he says, who is that, sister? This other Orkan.
She's like, it's a long story, but everything in short, family.
Really? I don't recall ever meeting her. How is she related to us?
She is our aunt, correct?
Yeah, she's your father's sister, according to what she's told you.
Your brother. She is our aunt, our father's sister.
Rokash seems taken aback by this. I don't remember father ever mentioning having any siblings. Interesting. Very interesting.
She has been great help.
I have news about father, by the way, Kasha. I'll tell you when we get to the fire.
Sounds good.
So, as you are walking, Torgwin, and I'll say that you hear this too, Kasha. You hear a voice in your head, and you recognize it as being Dayan's voice, and she speaks to you and she says, "Show no alarm, but I need to inform you to not be fooled by this facade. They are not who they claim to be." How do you react to this?
She just gets quiet all of a sudden, and then just nods. It's like she's trying to crack her.
Gotcha. Jonah looks over to you, Torgwin, and he nods in your direction.
Yeah. Actually, where are the like? Where is Pius Umbris and Rokesh that just joined us?
They are.
Like,
They're walking with you guys towards the campfire currently.
I nod back to Jonah, and I assume I'm going like somewhere in the back where they can't really spot me. And I'm gonna cast a Hear No Lie spell.
Okay.
No lies.
All right. Go ahead and give me a spellcasting roll for that.
Just. Alright.
How do you fall back, by the way? Do you just like pause and like let them walk ahead of you, or?
I mean, I assumed I was like going rather in the back of everybody anyway, because Torgwin is like more of a, you know,
Okay, that makes
not that forward person.
that makes sense. Okay, I can believe that. So we'll just assume you had been in the back in the first place. All right, sounds good. And yes, that I do believe that's enough for your spell to work.
Yeah, difficulty 12.
Perfect. Excuse me. So you cast Hear No Lies on yourself, and now it is active. And how long did we say that lasts? I think we said
I
it.
have fucking idea.
I think we said it lasts for every additional mana that you spend. It lasts another hour, and its base time is an hour as well.
I mean, sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll just go with that. So it's going to last for an hour unless you spent extra mana. But anyways, you gather around the fire, and Jonah crosses his arms, and he has this sort of like serious look on his face, and he says, "So, what happened to you guys exactly? I thought that you had drowned. Well, I mean, not you, Rokash. I mean, you're probably a really good swimmer, I would imagine. But I mean, how did you get out of Circa?" he asks. And Rokash replies, "We were fortunate enough to be found by a vessel not too long after. I managed to save Takana. He was near me at the time. And Torgwin, as you are doing this, your spell, right, it just starts to like go off immediately. Like, that is a straight, bold-faced fucking lie, what he just said." He continues on, though. "I knew that there was a chance that things were not right here in Farso. And with Circa being gone, it was my duty to come and see that my clan was safe." And again, Torgwin, your spell continues to just like completely just go off the radar as far as like his story goes. How are you reacting to this information?
Torgwin is probably a bit just shocked, or I don't know, but he doesn't say anything anyway in first place, but if he would have said that, he would have stopped talking.
Gotcha. Okay, so pretty much just listening. Then.
Just listening right now, and well, I'm gonna try to like, I mean I'm in the back anyway, but as soon as they like situate them on the around the fire, I wanna stand like behind, or like rather next to the group that just joined us. So like kind of behind them, that my my colleagues, I'm gonna say our friends, see me.
Okay.
But yeah.
Gotcha. So you're behind your allies. Kind of? Right?
I mean, rather behind the 4 people that just joined us.
Okay.
The maybe imposters.
Gotcha.
Just so the my allies look at me and see what I'm like gesturing, basically, if I want to gesture something.
Okay, I understand. And he continues on with his story. I asked that the vessel bring me and Takana to Farso. They were gracious enough to do so, and then they went on their way. I went to the village only to find it in ashes and ruin. And then we were captured by the White Fang. And, again, your spell continues to go off, Torgwin. All lies. While I was there, I found some dire news, Kasha. Our clan has been captured by the White Fang. And Torgwin, as you're listening to this, your spell does not go off. That appears to be a truth.
Okay.
In due time, I believe soon, very soon, they have plans to perform their heresy on our clan, Kasha. We need to stop them. What were you saying, Kasha? Sorry about that, I didn't mean to cut you off.
She asks how they find it.
How'd they find them? What?
Captured.
You're kind of breaking up.
She's just cutting off for
Yeah.
me as well.
Can you try saying that again, Kasha? I'm sorry. Oh,
She
good.
asks how did they find out
How did they?
the clan was captured.
I was captured as well. And while I was there, I saw them. I saw a father. He was gravely injured. Torgwin, your spell does not go off at that either. That appears to be a truth. The leader of the White Fang clan is powerful. Perhaps one of the most powerful beings that I've ever seen. Well, mortal beings anyway. Terrifying. Barely even an Orcan anymore. There's many of them. But I think
Sorry,
that
go ahead.
But I think that with these forces here, we stand a chance against them.
I was just sitting there listening. Something just in her mind clicks and something doesn't seem right. So she's like, if you were captured, how did you escape?
Rokash looks you in the eyes and he says, when they came back, there was I think a hunting party sent out. They brought these two, and he gestures over to Umbrus and Pius, back with them. They were unconscious at first. Torgwin, your spell does not go off at that. I used my magic to try and awaken them from their sleep, and I thankfully was successful in doing so. Torgwin, your spell goes off at that. That is another lie.
Yeah. At that, Torgwin like interferes. How, with what spell would he be able to do that? If at all, how did he really do it?
He looks over to you, Torgwin, and he says, after examining them, I determined that their souls were not with their bodies. It was not simply a slumber that they were in. It was more of a, how do I say, a lack of consciousness completely. I did the only thing that I could, and I ventured into the labyrinth to retrieve them. And, the first part that he talks about how their souls were missing, of course, that pings as a tree. Your spell does not go off at that. But the second part, about venturing into the labyrinth, your spell does go off at that. That's a lie.
And would Kasha know if her brother would have to do such a feat?
Well, based off of what you know about mana realms, as long as you have the element, or if you have a supply of mana that is connected with that realm, you can go there. And presumably, if you can go there, that means that you can bring anything that might be trapped there back. You know for a fact that Rokash, like yourself, does have shadow magic. So it is possible, then, that he ventured into the labyrinth.
Yeah, because she's starting to doubt everything. He's saying, she's like, "Brother, do you remember when we were kids, before I became myself?
Yes.
Do you remember the last thing? Do you remember the last thing you gave me, the day before I finally came out and told everyone the truth?"
I do remember, yes. I remember how conflicted Father was with everything. But I remember that he accepted you as who you chose to be. And Akasha, that is true. Your father was conflicted about everything, but they did ultimately accept you as who you were at the end of the day. That was shortly before you began your journey as a shaman, if I recall correctly. And that was also shortly before you went out and began your journey as a shaman as well. So that part is true as well. I remember...
She takes the... Sorry, go ahead.
I remember giving you a charm to protect you on your way. And that part is true as well.
She's like, true, brother. She grabs the trident she carries all the time, which was actually a gift from her father.
Okay. And as you do this, Dayan once more speaks in your mind, and she says, "Do not attack. We may yet be able to garner some information from them and learn of their true intent."
Is she able to speak back?
You can think a response in your mind, and Dayan might hear it. You don't know for sure if she will, but it's a possibility.
She does. She thinks, "I have a plan. What I'm about to say is going to be a lie. And this determines whether I truly believe this is my brother or not."
Okay. Go ahead. That was
She
the
takes the-
GM talking, not Dayan. Keep going.
She the trident she bought before she went to Circa. This was a gift from Father. He wanted to inscribe something on it. Do you remember what it was?
Okay, so you're asking him about the gift from your father?
So she's saying the trident she carries was a gift from their father, which is a lie.
Okay. As you're doing this, Rokash says he gave you a trident. When did that happen? It must have been after I had already left for Circa. Did he give it to you before you left to come and find me?
You remember? It's the day before you left. You were there with us.
There was so much happening that day. All of the preparations for the travel. I do not remember. No.
She just nodded. And she knows it's all a lie. Because she was helping her brother the whole day for him to get ready.
Okay. With that, Pius speaks, and he says to the group, after we were freed from that place, Umbrus and I, well, we worked together with these two. We could only do a small group, unfortunately. There were far too many of them for us to have any hope of escaping en masse. But we worked together, and we were able to get out from that place. And Torgwin, your spell goes off at that as well. That is also a lie.
How did you manage to get out? Like, to get back well, this plane?
Well, thankfully, Umbrus is quite skilled with shadow magic, as you know. As much as I detest the thing, it proved to be quite useful. We escaped unseen. We realized, of course, that we were not on the physical plane, we were in the ether. That's where they are hiding. They use these amulets, and he reaches into his pocket, and he retrieves one to show you. To travel between the planes. We managed to take some of these before we escaped from their village. He stuffs it back into his pocket, and we should be able to use them to get back to the other side. A part of that statement rings true about the amulets, but the other part about them taking the amulets does not ring true.
Yeah, that they took the amulets from them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever is going on, Pius says, is beyond all of us. We need allies, resources. I fear that whatever this phenomena is, with all of these outsiders coming into our world, with all of these demons coming into our world, I fear that it is a harbinger of more dire circumstances, of more dire things to happen in the future. I do not know of the circumstances surrounding all of you being here, but I think it in our best interest to go and rescue the Darkfin tribe, as well as any other captives that may be held there. That would be a good first step.
How many did they capture by now?
I didn't
Or rather,
take an exact count, but there were dozens and dozens of people there, other than the White Fang. Easily an entire clan's worth of Orcan, other than them.
You mentioned earlier you wanted to do a ritual. What was that about?
Rokash looks towards you. The White Fang are a heretical group of Orcan here. They are a disgrace to all of us. They feast upon the flesh and the soul of other Orcan, of their own ancestors of all people. to gain power. But that power comes at a price. An insatiable hunger takes them. And they will continue to eat and devour unless we put a stop to them. I don't fully understand how their ritual works, but I know that it takes them time to prepare to do it. The last I saw of the clan, they were still alive, but I do not know how long that will be. And Torgwin, that rings as true. He is telling the truth.
Well, since you've been in there, hideout, I suppose. You must know how it looks. Like, at least the layout of it be helpful.
Yes, I can show you that. And he takes a stick from one of the buildings, like a little piece of wood from one of the buildings nearby, and he begins to trace out the outline of the fort. It is quite large, and, well, it will be difficult to attack from any sort of unseen position. It's in an empty field in the ether. We could venture through the physical plane. It would be much safer that way, I feel. And then once we get close, we can perhaps open some sort of a portal into the ether and then attack en masse.
Any buildings where they mostly keep their forces, which we should avoid.
Their forces are kept towards the outer edges of the encampment. That rings as true. They seem to be telling you the truth. They keep their prisoners towards the center of the encampment, heavily guarded. Their chieftain isn't too far from the prisoners, if I understand correctly. I'm not entirely sure myself. I simply saw an important-looking building while I was there. It was, grisly, to say the least, covered in the skin and bones of what I can only assume are their victims. And that rings as true.
Just sent you a message. Could you watch?
Yeah, one sec.
A roll for that, or are we just gonna let it happen?
I'll just let it happen. You do that.
Okay.
They don't seem to react at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I want to do?
As you're doing this, Rokash says, We need to move as quickly as possible, Kasha. If we're to save our clan. Will these Terran... will they help us?
She's like, they might help us. Give me 30 minutes to talk to them alone, and I will Be right.
Very well. I'll remain here then. Just please don't be long.
Now, how did you get out of the encampment? Shadow magic. They seem to see right.
I'm sorry, what was that?
How did you get out of the encampment with shadow magic? They seem to see right. Every shadow magic I cast.
Umbrus, he speaks and he says, I simply made them unaware of my presence. After that, I could do it on a small group of people, and we just simply slipped out. They may have already noticed that we're gone, and that pings as a lie.
That seems oddly easy. Are you sure nobody followed you?
It's possible that we were followed, but I don't think that it's true. I think that we managed to get away. And that pings as truth. He doesn't seem to be trying to deceive you with that statement.
Yeah.
She gets up. She puts one hand on her brother's shoulder, and when she does, a little bit of her blood drops onto his shoulder. Any reaction?
As you do this, as he notices the blood, he looks at your hand. Kasha, are you hurt? And he sort of like wipes the blood with his hand. You're bleeding. As he shows it to you.
I accidentally cut my hand. Nothing too major.
I'm glad.
It's just a flesh wound. And her arm falls off.
Her whole arm falls off. Well, at least her eyeball didn't pop out of her skull. Like it did last time. Anyways, yeah. They don't seem to be, deceiving you with that last statement, Umbrus. I'm sorry, Torgwin, rather.
Yeah. Same thing, really.
Same thing, really? No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I'm small, he's small. Same thing, really.
Come on, man, that's racist. That's racist.
Ever seen a giant wolf? Yeah, me neither.
Okay, anyways, while you guys are discussing the plan, we're going to switch back to Valan, because he has been waiting rather patiently. Valan, you there, man?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so you shift back into the ether. You are alone now, as far as you can tell. What do you do?
Look around. Sorry.
It's okay.
Alright. I look around basically to kind of case the area, and see what the area around me looks like.
You're standing back at the edge of the forest, where you had just been.
Oh, I thought I walked over to where his arm was first before shifting.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, you walk over to where his arm is at. You're in the physical plane still, and you see his arm like embedded into the snow and ice. It's his metal arm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a deep breath before starting the process of shifting.
Okay.
And once I'm on the other side, I'm basically just gonna look around to see what type of spot he picked out for me.
Gotcha.
Or what's it look like.
Okay, so you shift back in, or I'm sorry, yeah, you shift over after using your mysterious ability, and you find yourself in the, Christ, I can't talk right now. You find yourself in the Orcan encampment, and like Mr. Puppet said, it's behind a building. There doesn't seem to be anybody around, but you can hear lots of activity going on, like within the encampments. Like
Gotcha.
you can hear like people. They sound like Orkin, just yelling out, and for like mercy and stuff, or like let us go, that sort of thing.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna put the mask on, and then walk out. I guess basically just walk out and see what all the noise is about.
Okay. As you walk out, you excuse me. As you walk out, you find yourself in the main area of the encampments, towards the center, and you see all of the prisoners from before. They are surrounded in a cage. All of them are like kept inside of it, and there's many guards around them, like probably a few dozen surrounding this cage.
All right. In that case, what does the other side of the wall fortification look like? Like, is it raised? Do they have like guard watch out towers?
There are some like almost like it's like a tower, but it's like on the wall itself, kind of like there's some stairs where you can walk up, and those are positioned at each of the sort of like corners of the fort, if you will.
All right.
The fortifications themselves are rather high. They're made out of what appears to be wood. As far as where they could have gotten that from, maybe the forest that you just came out of, you're not exactly sure. It's about, I'll say, 10 feet high off the ground.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, you definitely couldn't jump over that normally. And it is quite sturdy looking. So, it might be kind of difficult to get through it.
Let's see. If that's the case, what does the village setup look like? Does there seem to be like homes, businesses, or is it mostly a military base kind of function?
As far as the lookout of it goes, like you've examined the buildings, you see one building in particular, and you recognize that as the chieftain's hut. It's quite grisly looking. It's composed out of like almost like leathery looking skin, if you will.
Alright.
And you know that's like Orkin skin by the looks of it, and it's kept aloft by like bones, the bones of all of the different people and beings that the tribe has over the years captured and eaten, what remains of them at least.
Gotcha.
Trying to think here. The other ones are not nearly as grandiose as that one. They're smaller looking hut things, like perhaps barely raised off of the ground, if at all.
Gotcha. Can I see that? I think you mentioned like a beam of light one time. Can I see that from here?
Yes, the beam of light on the top of the mountain. You can see that clearly from here. Yes.
Gotcha. But it's not really on this location. It's somewhere else.
Correct. It's like
Gotcha.
a ways away on the top of the mountain.
All right. Let's see. In that case, thinking about it, do they seem to have any type of? Well, hold on a second. Let me think about this. They don't really need boats. Is there Nah, it'll probably be a gate, so that's obvious. How packed is this place?
It's fairly packed. Like Mr. Puppet said, there is a lot of Orkin around. A lot of really scary looking Orkin. They do patrol around periodically in the camp, but you're not sure if that's like them actually patrolling around or if they're just like walking around. You really don't know, to be honest.
Alright. Shoot, if that's the case, that's gonna put a little hampering in the planning. Just how am I gonna get these people here? How big is the chieftain's tent?
The chieftain's tent?
Yeah, or the building.
It's pretty big. As far as how wide it is, I would say like the entire structure is, and I don't know, like 50 feet wide, maybe like 20 feet high.
Alright. Gotcha. Alright.
So it's fairly sizable.
Gotcha. Thinking about it, Valon sees that there's not gonna be a lot of opportunity to really sneak them in here, and he might have to create some type of distraction. But he's not even sure how to do that.
As you're thinking about this, you hear a voice behind you, and you recognize it as being one of the tribesmen. And he says to you, Kiris? And you recognize that as being your disguise's name.
Got you. He turns around, yes?
And you turn around to see your brother. And he sort of like has this sort of shocked look on his face. His like mouth hanging slightly open. It's, you know, his teeth like jutting out. These like razor sharp looking teeth. You were captured. You managed to escape from them?
Yes. They only captured me because they caught me off guard and I was knocked unconscious. As soon as I came back to, I was able to escape. They weren't that clever.
I see. What about?
But what if you?
What about?
Go ahead.
What about Tyr? And you recognize that name as being the name of the Orkin that Marcus like fried to cinders, pretty much.
Got you. He says, I'm sorry to tell you, brother, but they didn't make it. Before they knocked me unconscious, I saw them set her on fire.
They will pay. The chieftain will want to hear of your report, Kiras.
Yes, they will pay. I'm a bit tired though still, brother. Do you mind if, we get something to eat and drink before I go over to the chiefs? Maybe you could join me.
Certainly. Follow me then. And, this next part is gonna be kinda grisly. Like, kinda grisly. You might regret having asked for something to eat and drink. Okay.
I don't like that laugh.
You're led over to a nearby home, and you recognize this as being where you and your brother reside. And your brother begins to talk to you, and he says, Chieftain was not happy with our results, only taking those 2 that we were sent there to take. And you remember that you were sent there. Part of what you were, besides, you know, like killing those people, or, you know, capturing them and bringing them back alive, part of what you were sent there to do was retrieve 2 people specifically, that being an Alf and a Pandoran. You were given their descriptions by your chieftain, and you were told to capture those 2 people alive.
Got you. Do I recognize? I mean, I think I recognize the off, but do I recognize which Pandoran they were looking for?
Yes, it was the Pandoran that was unconscious.
Got you. I pretty much tell him, yes, brother, it didn't exactly go as planned. We probably should have sent more. We underestimated them. It seems that they have an army on their side now.
Yes, indeed. But I do not have any worries about this, brother. The chieftain will guide us to victory as he always does.
Truly. When do you, has the chief said the next time that we're supposed to gather for an attack?
Ah, yes, you're not familiar. You were missing when he made that plan, didn't you? Our allies. Well, we're going to be luring them into a trap here. And when the moment is right, we will strike them down and take their flesh as our own. The tribe will feast and grow in power from this. It won't be long before all of Tharsa will be ours. And you remember as well, I should have told you, this is going to be an issue, I can tell, because you technically should have known this information, some of it, at least, but whatever. You know that your tribe has been dealing with a, forces, fuck it. You've been dealing with demons, basically, right?
Alright.
And specifically, you recall seeing a Pandoran woman that suddenly had just inexplicably shown up at your village. You recall the day that she had arrived there, and of course you know, some of your tribesmen had attacked this woman, but she, one second, my headphones came fucking unplugged, sorry. But she easily, she didn't kill them, but she easily defeated them in combat, and asked that she be allowed to speak to the chieftain. You're not sure about the exact details of what they discussed together, but since then, things have only been getting better and better for your tribe.
Got you. Shoot, in that case, Valan is going to give out, like, after hearing what his brother said the plan is, give like a hurrah, like slap the table or slap his back, like, you know, that sort of thing. And says something to the effect of, we won't be living in slums for long, dear brother.
Indeed. Indeed. As for your meal, I'm sure you're hungry. Come. And he takes you into the home, and you see in the corner of the home this Orcan woman sort of cowering in a cage. She looks at you, her eyes widened. And she looks to you and to your brother. And she's just sort of like shivering in the corner over there. Well then, brother, dig in. I've been saving this one just for you, should you make your way back. And all at once, Valan, you're like, oh shit, probably. As you recall, like, how exactly you eat your victims, you eat them whole and alive.
Oh man.
And the
How
drink,
about that big?
And the drink that you have is their blood.
Oof. Alright. Gotcha. He's going to turn towards his brother and shake his hand and say, brother, truly no one knows me quite like you do. Before I left, well, as you know, we're a warrior race, and before we go on any mission, we're never sure if we'll come back or not. Even as good as we are in combat, as unbeatable as we usually are, every now and again some of us don't come back. I'm glad that you kept that faith in me, brother, that you knew I wouldn't die in enemy hands.
You are a strong warrior, brother. I always knew that you would return.
And truly you are stronger for bearing the weight. If you don't mind, I'd like to eat this in privacy.
Go ahead, and I want you to give me a face talk and social roll.
Alright. Face talk, social.
And this is where you say goodbye, Villan.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, that fucks up the the roll, and then. All right, out.
I'm gonna put a little magicano, and actually, can I use shadow magic for Lion?
You could try to like use shadow magic to influence his mind and make him more agreeable. Yes.
Alright.
It would be contested by his willpower, though.
You gonna put a little razzle dazzle in there, then?
Don't roll a crit fail. Okay.
Oh, you
No,
did it, but you
actually-
still rolled it for fail. No.
Okay, so you use your shadow magic to sort of like make him agree with you more,
Yeah, they're not the smartest bunch.
and he nods at you. I understand, brother. I will go and tell the chieftain of your return then.
Brother, I want to enjoy this for a while. Is it alright if I just catch up with you in 20 minutes or so, and we can walk there together as brothers?
Certainly.
I'm gonna shake his hand one more time vigorously, look him deep in the eye. That brotherly love.
Okay.
Yeah, so real quick, is this cage out in the open?
No, it is.
Great.
It's inside of the hut, and as soon as your brother, quote unquote, leaves, you might be able to do something. Perhaps.
Alright. I'm going to wait for him to leave.
Okay, he steps out, and he leaves you to your feast.
I'm going to unlock the door, I guess, and kind of keep a hold of her.
Okay, as you get closer and closer and begin to unlock the door, she's like, "Please, no! I have a child! I'll do anything!"
Well, all you have to do if you want to survive is be very, very well. Actually, keep yelling, and then in 30 seconds, be very, very quiet.
She goes quiet as she's like confused about what exactly is happening.
I'm gonna yell at her like, "What did I just say?"
She just like scream indiscriminately. Ah!
Alright, great. Yeah, once I get her out though, I'm going to tell her to like be really quiet as I like look around to see if there's anybody around us and kind of sneak to the opposite side of where the cage is from the tent.
Gotcha. You do so.
Or the tent entrance.
I got you. There's nobody that would be able to see you, at the moment.
Got you. I'm going to grab the amulets and try to phase into the real world.
Okay, you do so. You and her are back in the physical plane.
I'm going to point and say run in that direction, let her go, and then phase back.
Okay, gotcha. So I need to make a note to myself, real quick. One sec. I'm just gonna message you on Facebook what just happened, pretty much. And then you can, like, remind me next time we play.
I got you. Jesus Christ. You doing a hacker sequence?
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear my typing?
No, not at all. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Well, Torgwin, you should definitely be.
Like, I'm in.
You should definitely be used to that, considering that we used to raid together.
I know, I was used to that.
That
It's been
and
a lot.
that and the mouse buttons clicking.
I've heard worse mouse.
Okay. Anyways, so I just sent you a message on Facebook, pretty much just telling me what you did.
I got it.
And
Make
you-
sure you message that to Gemini also.
I'll message that as well. Okay.
That's gonna be funny. Like he gets back. All right, Gemini. There's a naked woman running towards you.
What will you do?
Okay. Anyways, so you phase back into the encampment. All right. What do you do now?
Is there any dag on it? I should have cut her or something. Is there any I guess blood around?
You don't think that your brother will find it too suspicious that there's not anything left. You guys are pretty fucking ravenous.
Oh, true. Plus, we do eat them whole, so
Yeah.
probably not too messy. In that case, I'm going to walk out of the tent and go to find. Well, actually, I'm not. Which? All right. How can I put this? I want to take the long way around to his tent so I can use the time to try to see if I can, I guess, find any other weak points, or find if there's a place big enough for the portal, or for us to dig that tunnel underneath or something.
Okay. As you're taking the long way over to, you're going to the chieftain's tent, right?
My brother's tent first, and then the chieftain.
Oh, you guys like live together.
Oh, got you.
He went out somewhere like randomly into the camp, pretty much, while you were having your meal.
Alright. Yeah, so if that's the case, I'm just gonna go to the chieftain's tent, and kind of look around in the meantime.
Gotcha. As you're doing this, you try to look for any places that look particularly weak, and they seem to have this place pretty well locked down. Like, there's 2 gates, pretty much, one in the back, one in the front. Both of them are pretty well guarded. The 4 different sort of guard towers looking into each of the corners, right? Honestly, you were lucky to find a place to slip in at all. To be honest with you.
It's that packed.
It's that
where are they
packed.
getting their water from?
They melt snow for it.
Oh, makes sense. Shoot, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go to the chief's tent then.
Okay. Gotcha. You head over to the chieftain's tent and you find 2 of his sort of like personal guards waiting outside. They greet you. Kiras, we heard of your return. The chieftain will want to see you. And they take the hold of the like the leathery like skin flaps, and they like open the tent up for you. Inside, you can see the chieftain's 2 red eyes just like beaming out at you as he sits on his sort of throne he has in there.
Got you. I'm going to I guess bow to the chief or whatever I remember being their sign of respect to him.
As you remember, once you enter, typically you guys sort of like kneel down in front of him,
Got you. Yeah, I'm gonna.
and you never make eye contact as you speak.
All right.
All right, you enter in and you take your knee. Kiras, I am glad to see that you have returned safely, though I have to say it is unexpected. Tell me of what you've learned, and how you escaped.
Got you. I'm going to start by recounting, I guess, the story that I remember up until The part where he gets captured. Well, not up until that part, but the part right before they actually start attacking.
Gotcha.
And then once I get there, basically tell him that it was going successful at first, until one of the majors caught what's her name in some sort of fire magic. And then while I was distracted, they knocked me out, and I was captured. Before that, I did learn that they're more numerous than we gave them credit for initially. There may be as many as 20,000 of them. Huge. Pretty much packed on that island, shoulder to shoulder. It would be almost impossible to attack them. But on another note, on how I escaped, that is, Your Honor, when I was unconscious, I think they forgot that I could phase through things, and so they left me in a prison cell, and then when I woke up, I phased out, and luckily they left the amulet on me. I guess the fools don't know the value of it, and I managed to make my way back here through the forest.
I see. You've done well. But I'm glad to say their numbers make no difference. Either way, we will be victorious in the end.
I'm gonna chuckle with him a little too. Just add a little tinge of evil to the environment he has going on. Yes, I doubt it will either. But how exactly do you plan to overcome such great numbers? After all, we are many, but not as many as that.
You recall that woman that showed up here a while back?
Yes. The one who, brought us into this seeming age of prosperity.
She's ensured our victory in exchange for our service. Do you know those prisoners that I ordered you to capture?
Yeah?
They are, well, how do I say, acting on our behalf. Along with a member of the Darkfin tribe. And another.
Oh, go ahead.
And another, a Pandoran. All of them are not what they seem. When the fools show here to strike, the truth will be revealed, but by then it will be far too late for them, and we will feast as we always do.
Yes. Well, I guess in that case, when are we supposed to be moving in on them?
We will not move in on anyone. They will come to us.
Come to us?
That's right.
How exactly? How would they even know where we are?
I do not know all of the details of how this information has come across to them, but I was told by our alliance that such would come to pass. They have told me many of things that will come to pass, that have come to pass. I have no reason to doubt their word now.
Yes. Well, if that's the case, I trust your word on it. Is there anything else that you needed from me?
No. You've done well. Go and rest.
He thanks him and, slips out of the tent without, making eye contact.
Gotcha. You find yourself back into the main encampment, and your brother is waiting outside of the tent for you. Kiris, How was your meal, brother?
It was wonderful, brother.
Yes, she
Sorry,
had plenty of fat on her. That one.
Oh, yes. I haven't had a meal like that in ages. It felt like I was starving myself half to death walking through that forest.
I can imagine. Well, you should get some rest then, brother. I believe that whatever is coming will be here soon. We've been told to be on constant guard.
You're right, brother. I'm going to walk around a bit more. I have to think on some of the things that the chief said to me. But I shall be back shortly.
Very well then, I'll see you at home.
I'll nod at him. Basically, I'm going to, let's see, if I could try to find either the spot where I came in, or go back to the feeding place, that's more or less what I'm going to try for.
Okay, you go back to the place where you initially entered.
And do I see anybody there, or around me?
No. But you don't think it would be too awfully suspicious if you were just to, like, leave normally? I mean, they do slip in and out.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Thinking about that while I'm behind this shed, I'm going to, when I saw them coming in and out of the building, was it usually one person, or did they travel in, duos or groups?
Do you mean, like, the chieftain's tent, or, like, in general?
In general, when they're, I guess, going in and out of the complex.
Well, if, you know from your prior knowledge that if they were to leave, they would leave as a, group. A hunting party consists of at least 3 individuals at a minimum.
Got you. Well, yeah, I'm probably, let's see, with the hunting party, both of them can kind of work. Do they look like they shift out of the realm that we're currently in into the real world when they go hunting?
Not initially, no. Typically, they'll travel through the ether. And then sometimes they will shift between worlds, like when they need to avoid an obstacle or a dangerous location. But mostly they travel to the ether until they get to where their target is.
Got you. Alright. And what do I know of how often these hunting parties go out?
Some of them go out on the chieftain's orders, like you and your group did. Others go out simply to go hunting, randomly. It could happen anytime.
Got you. I guess I'm gonna. I guess I don't know how these people organize themselves, like in the crowds or whatnot. But I guess I'm going to try to find 2 people to form an impromptu hunting party.
Okay. Your brother would be down, you're sure.
Yeah, but I'll actually feel a little bit bad. Well, no, I won't. Actually, yeah, that'll be perfect.
You probably would feel kind of bad. You do kind of. This is another thing I kind of neglected to say, I suppose. You do kind of feel the same emotions that the person would normally feel.
Person feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would feel bad about it, but how bad? Not sure.
Not bad enough to keep you from doing it. That's
yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. So yeah, I guess in that case, yeah, I'm gonna go find him, and basically just say, hey brother, the one that you gave me was ripe and delicious. I think we should form a hunting party. I'd like to find one for you and I, for tomorrow, or something. I don't know. I don't even know how often these people eat.
He looks to you, brother, and he says, that would be I'm trying to think of how to say this. That would be nice, brother. But the chieftain has ordered that we stay put for the moment. He anticipates an attack soon.
Yes, I forgot all about that. I think he mentioned it a little. If that's the case, we can just go tomorrow if the chief says it's alright.
Indeed. We'll have to wait till we have the order then. That it's safe.
And with that, I'm going to probably walk off again. I'm just gonna go back with Plan A. Just find the hiding spot I came in, change out the costume, shift back, and tell Gemini what I found so far.
Okay. You go back to where you previously were located, and you find something has happened while you were gone. At first you think like the worst thing possible has happened, and you find that Medley, the Orcan woman, and Chorus are all laying on the ground still where you left them. You approach and you're not sure if they're like dead or like unconscious or what exactly.
Alright.
By the way, what form are you in? Are you in like your disguise or back to your normal self?
I'm back to the regular one at this point.
Gotcha. You look around, of course, and you don't see any signs of Orcan, and you do spot some tracks, but they don't seem to be Orcan tracks either. They seem to be Pandoran tracks. One set of them.
Huh.
Leading towards the mountain that you see in the distance. And then you follow the tracks, right, for a bit, and they just inexplicably like disappear. And Gemini is nowhere to be seen, by the way. Or
mysterious.
Mr. Puppet, he comes out of hiding nearby, like in a pile of snow, and he says, "You're here! You made it back! Oh, thank God!"
Mr. Puppet, where's Gemini? What's going on with Medley and them?
It was Farfel. He came out of nowhere and he attacked us.
How did he get here?
I don't know. He just appeared out of nowhere.
Valon thinks on it for a while. I'm not sure what to do about this one. Let's go see if Medley and Chorus are alright first.
Okay. You go over to Medley and Chorus, and they're breathing still. And they appear relatively uninjured. Like, you don't see any, like, noticeable, like, wounds on them at all. It just seems like they were just knocked out. Chorus, he groans. Ah! Ah! My chest, it hurts. Ah! And he opens his eyes to look at you. Valon. Ah. How do you react to this?
I'm gonna bend down and see if I can if I see any type of injuries, and basically ask are you okay? Like, what happened?
It was Farfel. He came out of nowhere and attacked us. He took Gemini.
Did you before this, did you see a woman run through here?
You're talking about the Orcan woman, right?
Yeah.
She's unconscious as well, like in the group. Sorry if I didn't mention that.
Gotcha. Sorry, no problem. I'm going to let him get his bearings and say something like, I don't know what's going on here. It seems like everywhere I turn there's deception. I don't know what's going on. I have bad news for you, though. It seems like they wanted us to attack them. Like they knew we were coming.
But how is that possible?
I asked the same question. But who knows?
What should we do? Without Gemini, we can't open a way into this world. We have to rely on the amulets.
Yeah, and on top of that, I'm not even sure if we should go back. By this time, they might be compromised or even worse on the way here. Valan kind of takes a step back and sits down and thinks on it for a while. Now that he kind of knows everybody is all right, for the most part. At least they're not under attack currently.
And as you're sitting there taking in your bearings, a huge sort of shockwave just blows through the entire area, and the entire area just becomes like saturated in this heavy sort of like mana, like all around you, as it sort of like pushes down on your shoulders. You look up after like regaining your footing towards where the mountain is, and the light over the mountain has just intensified. It almost looks like it's daylight over here. That's how bright it is.
And it looks like our trouble just got worse.
And now I just thought about this. Now, because you're back in the physical world, the light is visible on this end.
Oh, that's even worse. I didn't even think about that.
And Kasha and Torgwin, the same thing happens with you guys. You feel the shockwave, and then you look over towards the mountain, and you see this same light that you saw in the other worlds, but now it's in the physical world as well. And it's so bright now that it almost looks like it's daytime. How do you guys react to this?
Well, Torvin just stared. I don't. Well, over.
Go ahead.
Torvin just stares over and is like, "What the? Is that?"
Duranka speaks up and she says, "That is a surge of mana. Water mana. And a big one at that. Someone is doing something in the sacred site up there." As to what that could be, I do not know. But whatever it is powerful.
Pasha know exactly what's up in that area?
Okay, the top of the mountain is a very special sort of area. The Orcan hold it in, like, high regard. And only shamans, as far as you're aware, go up there. It's a place where the physical world and Termina's mana realm touch. Like a crossing over point of sorts.
Okay. Saying this, at first, Kasha's face was nice and relaxed, but right when she sees this, she just gets extremely angry. And like, do you remember that little shadow magic thingy I was saying that Kasha's been practicing?
Yeah?
You know, merging with the shadow.
Yeah?
Is it possible to try and see if she's successful to take that on?
You do have shadow and water magic. I'm trying to think here. So you want to, like, become shadow, basically?
Merging herself with the shadow itself. She's the shadow, and the shadow is her.
Trying to think. It might be possible to move through shadows. So I guess that would technically mean that it's also possible to become shadow, kind of. You know, kind of like a shadow step.
Yeah. She looks at her aunt, nods, and, well, not nods, pretty much tells her to come with. She uses her shadow magic to, I guess you could say, open up a little shadow portal up to that, and yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna open a portal, like, step through the shadows up there, pretty much, right? That's what you want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really gonna have to think about whether something like that should be possible, honestly, because normally, like, space, moving through space like that is something like that's like air related. I mean, I could see like moving through like local shadows. That could definitely be possible. Maybe if you had air magic, you could like combine those two abilities together or something. I'm not sure though. 1 second though. Back over to Valon. Mr. Puppet says, Gemini, he's up there. I can see something. How do you react to this, Valon? Valon, you there? Oh no.
Hey.
Oh, my bad. My thing was muted.
Oh no. It happens.
Alright, what'd you say though?
Okay, Mr. Puppet, he says to you, Gemini is up there. I can see something, a light, but it's so bright.
You mean up on the mountain?
I think so.
I guess I'm gonna try to strain my eyes to see if I can get a speck out of, like a speck of a person in the distance, I guess.
No, if there's anyone up there, you can't see him from this distance.
Got you. I'm gonna turn to Mr. Puppet and say, "Are you absolutely sure?"
He clickety clack nods at your ass and he says, "Yes."
Alright. Point exactly where he is.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, that depends on where he is, doesn't it?
He's at like the very top of the mountain, like the peak.
And I bet there's somebody up there waiting or doing something. And they wouldn't be very happy if we popped in on them. But then again, this is Gemini, part of our team, so I guess we have to save him.
You see, or actually, no, you wouldn't see anything. Never mind.
Alright. Valon is going to measure up what can be done here. He asked the fluke, are any of you able to fly right now?
Chorus, he shakes his head. No, it's far too cold.
Well, I guess there's only one way over there then, or at least only one time efficient way. Too bad I can't bring all of you with me.
What are you going to do, friend?
Guess I'm gonna teleport over there. What am I gonna do once I get there? Not sure.
Miss Gemini says to you, you can teleport places that you can see, right?
Wait, hold on, Gemini's here?
No, sorry, I meant to say Mr. Puppet. My bad. My bad.
You.
Mr. Puppet says to you, you can teleport to places you can see, right?
Yes.
Do you think that, like, because I know that you can share information with shadow magic. Do you think it'd be possible to, like, connect people's senses together?
Sure. Not even that hard, actually.
Okay. I know how you can get over there quickly. How we can all get over there quickly.
Shoot away.
I can see the light through Gemini. He and I are connected together.
Oh, yeah, genius.
So, can you use that to get us over there quickly?
Yes, actually. Let's see. If you can, he starts to place his hand on his forehead so they can like form a telepathic link.
Okay.
And try to see exactly what Gemini is going through and I guess who's around him.
Okay. Through the light, you can see a vague silhouette. They're standing in this sort of clearing on the top of the peak. And they seem to be like channeling this massive power.
Well, let's see. We have a few options here then, Mr. Puppet. I could teleport over there. And I might have enough power to warp you with me. I'd bring the Flug, but they seem to be in a bad state, and I'm sure that they're not really up for fighting.
Chorus, he speaks up and he says, if Gemini is in trouble, then I will fight. He would do the same for me.
Don't be too sure on that last statement, but if you're willing to go, then come on, just get in this circle. I'm going to use Mr. Puppet's connection to teleport us over there, but there seems to be two figures of some type, and at least one of them is using magic, so be prepared to fight as soon as we land.
Medley says, what about the others? Couldn't we go back to the village first and get help? We don't even know what we're walking into.
Yes. So here's the problem with that. I could make a portal to take us back there that would also be a link for them to come forwards, but they're one, probably already compromised, and two, that wouldn't even get us that much close. That wouldn't get us closer to Gemini, and I don't know if I'd have enough magic left afterwards to get us over there.
Compromised? What do you mean?
What I learned from the chief.
You just fill them in?
Yeah, just tell them like they expect us. Tell them like everything I told Mr. Puppet, basically.
So you're saying then that those people, my colleagues, are being controlled?
No, I don't think they're being controlled, but bringing them here would probably not be the best idea, since that's what's expected. They're all down there in that village waiting for exactly that to happen.
I don't understand. There's no way that Pius and Umbrus would betray us like this. They're not men like that.
It was probably that other guy leading the group. I can't remember what his name. What's the dude who I said to come instead of Gemini, or who I said Gemini to come instead of him?
Farfel.
The weird guy. There we go. That guy, the weird one. I feel like he has something to do with this.
Well, he has to, right? I mean, we saw him attack us and take Gemini.
Exactly. And I didn't trust him to begin with. He's probably made some type of deal with those people in exchange for our lives.
Then why haven't we been attacked by them? Don't you think that if this were coordinated, they would have taken us? We were easy takings.
True. They probably didn't need us. But you do bring up a good point of why they left you here. Well, if you think we should build a portal, I can do that easily enough. And we could bring over everybody over here in the process.
As you're doing this, Mr. Puppet seems to be getting more and more panicked, and he says, "Whatever we're gonna do, please just hurry up."
In fact, I can do this. You're still a bit on the weak side. Not Corvus, but Medley. But do you think that you can walk?
Yes, I can stand and walk. Yes.
Alright. I'm going to open the portal. I need you to go and find Kasha and Torgwin immediately and fill them in on everything that I told you and let nobody else know. But I'll leave this portal open for you to walk through.
If you want to save your mana, I can make the portal.
Oh.
I am a master of air, after all.
True facts. Forgot all about that. Well, yes, I would say, make the portal. Go get Kasha and Torgwin, and, oh, in fact, here, I can do this. And Valan places his hand on, what's the name as well? Medley, and, telepathically links them to, Valan and Gemini, and, what's the name?
Mr. Puppet?
Yeah, Mr. Puppet. And I say, this is what you can do instead. Since we're linked telepathically, we should be able to do a little bit of magic together. If you can take the portal over there, then you can use the telepathic link to Gemini, me, and Mr. Puppet to transport everybody directly there. That'll help in the fight.
Okay, but what about the others in our camp? I know you said that we can't trust any of those 4 people that we saw, but what about the others? Like Duranka?
Well, let's assume that we can't trust anybody outside of our main group and keep them in the know. Unfortunately, the rest are going to have to charge into this battle somewhat unaware, but luckily for us, they're not going to come out directly at the village, but at the mountain instead.
So, you want them to attack the Orcan village while we go and rescue Gemini?
No. Just send them directly to the mountain where Gemini is. We'll fight that battle, and then from there, we'll wait for everybody to gather and then descend on the Orcan village.
I understand. And she begins to use her magic to open a portal back towards the village. Torgwin, you're staring at this light in the distance when you hear something open up behind you almost. A distinct sort of sound that you've heard before. And you turn around and you see a portal has been opened behind you. You look through and you see the group that you sent to go and find the village, standing on the other side. Medley steps through and she says, "Torgwin, where's Kasha?"
Did she leave already?
She, no, Kasha's still here. It's just that Medley hasn't seen her yet. There's like a lot of people around.
Gotcha. Oh, Kasha is here around the fire with us.
I need to speak to you too. I need to speak to the both of you quickly.
Kasha, get over here. Or Kasha, over here.
Lied real quick, just so you could know. we're going to, me and the rest of the party, we're gonna go ahead and try to teleport near where Gemini is, but kind of off in the distance. Well, not really in the distance, but like not in the main action, and wait for everybody.
Okay. You can teleport within Gemini's like line of sight. So you could teleport
Gotcha.
like a ways, like towards like one of the edges, perhaps. Maybe hide behind something.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. It doesn't have to be like super hidey, but basically just like in the bushes where we could stay quiet and wait.
Okay. I'm gonna say you can do this. You have to spend mana, but don't worry about making a roll for it. I'm just gonna say you do
Alright.
it.
Gotcha, I'll take it down.
Okay. After gathering you two together, Torgwin and Kasha, she speaks. Medley speaks, and she says, "Gemini is in danger," and she's whispering this the entire time. And Valan told me to tell you that the people who have shown up here, there have been people, yes.
Well, it's people, but we're
Don't trust
lying.
them. Do not trust them. We were about to walk into a trap. They cannot be trusted. I don't understand why exactly, but that's what Valan told me.
They are some kind of post and imposter. Like, we're assuming that the get-go.
We need to go and rescue Gemini. Come with me. I will.
What about Marcus?
He told me only to tell you and Kasha.
I think we should grab him because he'd be really good.
Okay. You gather Marcus. You get Marcus real quick, and the three of you are discussing this, and Marcus has joined in the conversation. He says, Gemini is up there? As Medley tells you of what she has learned from Valan, and that is that Gemini is apparently on the top of that mountain. And that Farfel has seemingly betrayed the group. And
Wait a minute.
Torgwin, now that you think about it, you haven't seen Farfel for a bit. He seemed to have like disappeared shortly after everybody showed up.
Well then.
Question. Since that's a sacred shamanistic spot, would Kasha know a faster way up there?
It would take you some time to get up there by foot, but Medley has told you that she can get you up there via magic, quickly, instantly.
Okay. She's like, okay, this again goes against all tradition, but with those jerks up there, forgive me, ancestors, but fuck tradition. I'm giving you all permission to be up there with me. That you break anything, I will break your neck.
Noted, Marcus says. But what about the others? I mean, if we can't trust the masters, what if something happens while we're gone?
Okay, how many of you are skilled in water magic?
Nobody else speaks up.
I would.
If I remember, you said it was kind of an even split amongst the Terra.
Terran.
Yeah, some of the Terran know water magic.
Okay, she's like, give me 3 minutes, and then we will leave. And with that being said, she rushes off to talk with some of the Terran that have water magic.
Okay, you're speaking with them, and one of them asks. It seems like he's like maybe perhaps a captain because they were like seafaring. He says, "Do you mind telling me what exactly is going on?"
Apparently, the 3 that we let in are not who they seem. That is not my brother. Even I've been. Yeah. But anyways, this is what I want to happen. We have like 2 minutes to decide. The three must be encased in as much ice as we possibly can.
You want us to attack them?
I don't trust them.
I mean, they would be bloody insane to attack us. We have an army here. Do you really think that's necessary?
I have it under good authority. If we are to go with them to the other side, we are being led into a trap.
I will let the others know of this as quickly as possible. We will try and do as you wish.
And tell your people, of those who do not want to help, no hard feelings. So yeah. And with that being said, she rushes back.
Okay. You step through the portal with Medley and with the other people that are going with you, Marcus and so pretty much it's just going to be you guys, and you're leaving your NPC companions and all back in the camp, and they're going to try to attack while you guys are away, pretty much.
She was wanting to do the encase the three in ice before she went into the portal.
You don't know if you have the time, like.
Don't have the time. Okay.
Because I mean, it seemed like whatever is happening is pressing, and if you get into a fight here, you might, like, you don't know what's going to happen. Hello? Oh no, I think Kasha's disconnecting again.
Yep.
There she went. Rip. Anyways, back to Valon and Mr. Puppet and your two Flug companions. You guys teleport into the area. You're not sure if you've been spotted or not, but you're hiding behind a nearby rock after you get in. And yeah, it's fucking bright up here. Like, it's fucking bright. You can't see jack shit. You're just like hiding behind this rock, pretty much.
I'm gonna cast deepen shadows on my eyes so I can have some shades going.
Dude, you literally made glasses like shades out of shadow magic.
Oh my
and
god!
cast on his eyes, dude. What the fuck?
Wow. You know what? I'll allow it. Why not? So you make yourself some shades, I guess.
Nah.
Oh my god. The buzzing at the turns of place.
And you can see somewhat more clearly now, and you see Farfel is like channeling this massive amount of mana through his body, right? Mm-hmm. And as you're watching this scene unfold, right, you swear that you can see like waves of mana, like almost like an ocean, sort of like all around you through the area, and you can swear that you can hear like the crashing of these waves. But you can't feel anything as well. And you see this like object in this beam of mana sort of like lowering down from the sky.
Oh, that can't be good. I'm gonna cast Sense Desire on Farfield.
Okay. Once more, you're greeted by the same vision that you had seen before. Do you remember that vision, or do I need to tell you again?
Go over it one more time.
Okay. You see Farfel holding this like silver silverish, like semi-translucent flower-looking thing, and it has like this, like almost like mercury-looking liquid inside of it, and it emanates with this blue light. And you see him standing over Gemini as he thrusts his arm through Gemini's chest.
Got you. Do I see a flask like that in his hand in real life?
No.
Alright, that might be good news. Do I see a hole in Gemini's chest, or
No.
can I see that?
You don't see... Gemini does not seem to be injured in that way. He is laying on the ground, but he's not moving. He's just sort of like staring. It's almost like he's paralyzed.
Alright. I'm gonna whisper to the flu. I don't think he knows we're here quite yet.
What should we do? I can't see anything.
Oh, I'm gonna cast Deepen Shadows on their eyes also.
Okay.
Y'all getting shades.
Alright, I'm gonna say it's only gonna cost you like 2 mana per person. Pretty much.
Alright. The whole crew to be looking fly as hell.
Oh,
I'm willing to pay.
you know, this is almost as good as the "That's My Ship" thing from last session.
Yeah. So
Seems
let's
like
see
far
with that. So I'm going to do that so he can better see what's going on, as I explained to him that I just sense his desire and he seems to be focused on the task at hand.
Gotcha. Should we just attack then?
I'm not sure. He seems to be channeling magic. I don't know if he is just a vessel right now or if he has some of that power himself. I mean, we could try something. We do have well, let's see. Who has what magic again? Yeah, he has air magic, so we could try something that way.
Okay. As far as like you go over what your comrades have told you. Medley has air and shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Puppet can use earth magic. Chorus has earth and air. And yeah. I'm gonna say that by this time, Kasha and Torgwin like appear behind you, by the way.
Gotcha. Alright, perfect. Hopefully quietly, but perfect. And as they land in, I'm going to update them on the situation.
Give them some
I'm
flash.
also,
give them some flash shades too.
Oh yeah, already.
Oh my god.
We have to match. That's the most important thing about this boss fight. Matching cosmetics.
But the stats were good.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Um,
Okay. The object that is lowering from the sky, by the way, is getting like closer and closer. It's almost in his hands. Whatever it is.
got you. I am
And-
going to do what I do best, unless somebody has something else.
Question: would Kasha know what this object is?
No, you can't exactly discern what it is.
What does the
Gotcha.
object look like?
It is relatively small, like it could fit into like your hand, small.
Okay.
It seems to be glowing.
My ex.
Oh my god. It seems to be glowing, whatever it is, and it's in this pillar of mana that Farfell is channeling.
Got you. I am going to
As you...
try to.
One second.
Never mind.
Medley is going to give you one more piece of information. Whatever is happening here, I've never seen magic on this scale. This is beyond even what I am capable of or other masters.
Yes, it's quite something, and we should probably stop it before it finishes. Valan says as he prepares his spell. he's going to try to teleport the object to himself.
Okay. For that, I'm going to need a roll.
Alright.
In about 20 mana.
It is a lot of mana to teleport something. That's like a difficulty 16, 18 spell?
Actually, no. I think the difficulty on teleportation is relatively low. I think it goes teleportation, then warping, then portals.
Okay, so you're trying to warp then, because teleport would be you teleporting.
Oh, yeah, true. So I am trying to warp. Let me make sure I'm on the right thing. Yeah, it's a difficulty 18. Yeah, man.
Not that bad.
Burning through that
Not that
mana.
bad.
You're burning through that mana. By the way, you just gave those shades, which cost
How
2.
many people is that in the group?
Okay.
2, 4, 5.
So there's Marcus, Kasha, Torgwin, Chorus, Medley,
And you.
and yourself.
Self. Yeah,
I
so
don't
that's,
think I'm forgetting
that's
anybody.
6. So that's 12 mana altogether,
Yep.
I think. Alright.
There was also the mana to like teleport up here
Oh,
initially,
yeah.
and
Yeah, and then hold on,
and-
there was another one early game that I'm forgetting.
there was also.
Plus,
Sorry to interrupt. There was also the linking together your minds spell.
wait, oh man, that cost man.
Yep.
I thought that was instantaneous. All right.
It's only
So,
gonna cost you. It's only gonna cost you 5.
Gotcha. After doing a quick recount, yeah, guys, if this doesn't work, good luck. Oh, actually, I'm gonna turn to the Flug and say, would you lend me some mana?
I can try to cast the spell for you. What do you want me to do?
Do you know the warping spell?
Of course.
All right, warp that thing over here.
Okay, but he'll notice it. I'm sure.
I mean, yeah,
I have
he'll
an
notice
idea.
it. He'll notice the thing he has been conjuring disappeared before it reached him.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna try to. Do I roll along with them, or give them some of my mana, or how does that work?
If you want to assist with the spell, you guys will split the mana costs, and they will get a +1 on top of their roll.
Got you.
Okay.
Alright, so -9. Hey, and tell them to put some mana behind this thing. Alright, don't be shy. This is literally life or death here.
I
And I also-
understand. What were you saying, Kasha?
I have an idea. As Kasha notices what the two are doing, she is there snow on the ground up here? I'm assuming yes.
Yes.
Snow equals frozen water. Frozen water equals algae. Okay. As they're doing that, she wants to turn the ice, the snow around. Oh crap! Farfeld's legs into spikes of ice to distract him.
Okay, so you're gonna cast a spell to like try and impale him, kind of?
No, impel
Yeah.
his leg. Yes. Yeah, that's thinking right there. I like where you're going with this, well, woman.
Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna roll, rather, for Medley real quick, and she does it.
Roll.
Woo.
It's a pretty good roll. Yeah. that's
Didn't even
not
need
bad.
my +1.
Yeah.
Okay. And Kasha, here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and roll for your spell. It's going to be a difficulty 12, I'll say.
Okay, so that would be mysticism,
Mysticism,
will, and
will, and attunement.
okay. Okay.
Thank goodness our dice roller is working at least.
All the way to the end, too.
And I'm also going to add 6 mana to that to up it.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so you cast these ice spikes which come jutting out of the snow inexplicably at Farfell's feet. However, as they were going to like touch his body, you notice that the spike just like instantly like shatters as it makes contact against his skin. And as Medley like casts the spell to warp the object, whatever it is, into her hands, Farfell immediately like notices this and he like turns towards your group.
I'm gonna wave at him.
He looks over at he looks over at you, right?
He waves back.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Uh,
Everyone give me a second. I'm relocating outside for a cigarette, and it's about...
yeah, we're gonna stop soon. It's gonna stop soon.
No problem.
Okay.
Let's see.
Kasha has something to say, because she is beyond... This is the perfect time to say what she has to say.
Okay. He turns towards you, and he says, "I should have expected that you would interrupt in this process."
Quick question. Did the thing...
What's up?
Oh, go ahead, Kasha. I'll let you go first.
No, go ahead, Milan.
Okay, I was gonna say, were we successful in getting the object, though?
Yeah.
Yes.
I also didn't get that. Okay.
You see it in Medley's hands, and it's the object that you saw from your vision.
Gotcha. I'm gonna ask Medley to hand it to me and slip it into my mask bag.
As you go to grab it, it disappears out of Medley's hands.
Motherfucker. Alright. I'm gonna
Pull up.
turn towards what's the name and see if he has it.
Yeah, you turn towards Farfel, and he's holding it in one hand close to his body.
Okay, I got something for that. Kasha, did you want to do your speech thing? Because we can do this thing simultaneously, actually.
1 second.
Oh, yeah.
As you guys are doing this, he says to you, "I suppose that sparing the lives of your two Flug over there wasn't a hint enough. I'll tell you what. Truthfully, I have no malice towards any of you. You can leave. Walk away. All that I want is him."
For what exactly?
He considers your words for a moment. To fulfill the purpose for which he was born.
And he has to die for that? Seems kind of fucked up, bro.
Well, not exactly die. Not in the sense that you think, at least.
Oh, so after this whole thing, he'll just wake up and be right back at it then?
Something like that. Certainly.
By
the way, Torgrin, you are not getting any sense that he is lying about what he is saying.
Yeah, I mean that just means that he's convinced that he's right.
Yeah.
Like
Alright.
that he's telling the truth.
So you're telling me we could technically just wait here for you to finish, get Gemini, and then we could all leave.
He looks to you and he says, "I have no intentions of helping you with whatever
Oh, you don't
it is.
you don't
that
have to
want."
help us. We're just saying if we sit over here, wait for whatever the evil thing is, you'll give us Gemini back as he was, well, or minus whatever you're doing, but alive and sentient, and then we can all just roll up out of here. I didn't even want to fight you in the first place.
One second. I'm thinking about how he would react to what you're saying.
The BBEG just is like, yeah, sure.
Okay, he looks towards you and he says, "How do I say this?" Well,
Say
I suppose that all of you are here, so I guess that in the end there won't be any harm in telling you. I intend to take him as my vessel, so to speak. This body that I'm in has ran its course. So that's
Okay.
why you can just walk away.
So what you're saying is you're going to kill him and basically wear his skin.
To put it crudely, yes.
Look here, buddy. Have I got the product for you? You don't even have to do all this. I could literally hook you up with a perfect body right now.
Well, unfortunately, I have some bad news for you. It has to be him.
Oh, well, in that case, Valan is going to try to warp his knife into what's the name?
You're gonna, like, warp it into him?
Yeah.
Okay, before we go any further, because I actually want Jim and I to be here for this,
That would actually, we should probably stop here, to be honest.
because it is kind of integral to his character. I think we're gonna stop here.
Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.